What if I told you that everything you've ever learned, every skill, every fact, every piece of knowledge, was learned at only a fraction of your brain's true potential? Imagine if you could unlock a hidden switch in your mind that allows you to absorb information faster than ever before. No more endless repetition, no more frustration, just pure, effortless mastery. Sounds impossible? Well, it's not. The truth is, learning isn't just about cramming information into your brain. It's about understanding how your brain actually absorbs, stores, and retrieves knowledge. And once you learn how to work with your mind instead of against it, you can start learning anything at a speed that will shock you and everyone around you. So, are you ready to learn how to learn? Let's dive in. Let's start with a fundamental truth. Your brain is not designed to learn through brute force. Yet, that's exactly how most people try to learn: rereading, repeating, and hoping the information sticks. This is like trying to fill a bucket with water when the bucket has holes in it. So, how do you actually learn faster? 1. The brain learns in patterns, not pieces. Think of your brain like a giant web, not a filing cabinet. Every new piece of information needs to be connected to something you already know. If you just memorize facts without linking them to anything, your brain treats them like junk mail. It forgets them. For example, if you're learning a new language, don't just memorize random words. Link them to images, emotions, or situations. If you're learning pomme, French for apple, imagine biting into a crisp apple, instead of just repeating pomme over and over. Connections create speed. The power of curiosity. Have you ever noticed that you remember random facts about your favorite TV show, but struggle to recall what you studied for an exam? That's because curiosity supercharges memory. The brain is wired to hold on to information that sparks interest. Instead of forcing yourself to learn something in a dull, robotic way, find a way to make it fascinating. Ask why things work the way they do. Make it a game. Create a personal challenge. The more emotionally engaged you are, the faster your brain absorbs information. 3. Teach it to learn. Here's a trick. If you can't explain something simply, you don't truly understand it. This is called the Feynman technique, and it's one of the most powerful ways to learn faster. The method is simple. Learn a concept. Try to explain it as if you're teaching a 5-year-old. Identify gaps in your understanding. Simplify and refine until you can explain it effortlessly. This forces your brain to process the information deeply, making it stick much faster than passive reading. 4. Spaced repetition. Most people try to cram information all at once, but your brain doesn't work that way. It needs time to forget and then recall. This is called spaced repetition, and it's one of the most scientifically proven ways to learn anything faster. Here's how it works. Instead of reviewing something over and over in one sitting, space out your learning sessions over days or weeks. Review material just as you're about to forget it. This forces your brain to reconstruct the memory, making it stronger each time. Use apps like Anki's or simple flashcards to remind yourself at increasing intervals. After 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, and so on. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you challenge your brain to retrieve information, the easier and faster it gets. 5. Multisensory learning. The more senses you involve in learning, the better your brain remembers. This is because your brain doesn't store information in one single place. It spreads it across different regions. The more connections, the stronger the memory. For example, if you're learning a new concept, don't just read about it. Speak it out loud, write it down, and visualize it in your mind. If you're learning a skill, physically engage with it. Move your hands, act it out, draw it, or even associate it with a smell or a song. The key is to make learning an experience, not just an activity. 6. The role of sleep and movement. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't learn while you study. It learns while you rest. During sleep, your brain organizes and strengthens what you've learned. If you pull all-nighters or don't get quality sleep, your brain dumps a huge chunk of what you just studied. Solution? Prioritize deep sleep, especially after intense learning sessions. And here's another trick. If you get stuck while learning, take a short walk. Studies show that physical movement, especially walking, boosts creativity, problem solving, and memory retention. It's like hitting a mental refresh button. Now that you know how your brain actually learns, it's time to put this knowledge into action. These are the exact steps you can start using today to learn anything faster than before. Step 1. Use the 80-20 rule. Not all information is created equal. 80% of your results come from 20% of the most important information. Instead of trying to learn everything, ask yourself, what are the key concepts or skills that will give me the biggest results the fastest? For example, if you're learning a new language, focus on the most commonly used 500 words first, instead of memorizing obscure vocabulary. Step 2. The brain's test mode. Instead of passively reading or watching something over and over, force your brain to retrieve information. This is called active recall, and it's one of the most powerful learning techniques. Try this. After reading or watching something, close your book or pause the video and try to summarize it in your own words. Use flashcards with questions on one side and answers on the other. Instead of just highlighting notes, cover up parts of your notes and test yourself. The more effort your brain puts into retrieving information, the stronger the memory becomes. Step 3. Pomodoro method. Your brain can't focus for hours on end without losing efficiency. Instead, try learning in short, focused sessions with breaks in between. The Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes with full focus. No distractions. Take a 5-minute break, move, stretch, or rest. Repeat 4 times, then take a longer break. This keeps your brain sharp and prevents burnout. Step 4. Teach someone else. Remember the Feynman technique from earlier? Now put it into action. Explain what you've learned to a friend, a pet, or even your mirror. If you can write it in simple terms, you truly understand it. If you struggle to explain it, go back and break it down further. Teaching forces your brain to organize and simplify knowledge, making it stick faster and deeper. Step 5. Optimize your environment for learning. Your environment affects how well you learn. A cluttered, distracting space slows you down, while a structured, optimized space speeds up learning. Remove distractions, put your phone in another room, or use website blockers. Study at a consistent time and place every day. This programs your brain to switch into learning mode faster. Use background music like lo-fi beats or classical music to improve focus. With these techniques, you won't just learn faster, you'll learn smarter. So, here's the truth. Learning faster isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Most people struggle to learn because they fight against how their brain actually works. But now, you know better. Give your brain time to rest and process. But here's the most important thing. Knowledge is useless without action. You now have a blueprint for mastering any skill, any subject, faster than ever before. But it only works if you use it. And remember, learning is a superpower. The more you master it, the more unstoppable you become. If you found this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this.